Hello, I'm Kamali, taking you through the stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. The internet reaches out to Demi Lovato after she overdoses in Los Angeles.
There's a person getting deported to Afghanistan. Please don't take my phone. Don't touch my phone.
A Swedish activist live streams her attempts to stop an Afghan man from being deported. No apology from the Kuwaiti beauty blogger who's continuing to post offensive remarks about domestic workers in the Gulf.
Where's Patty?
Right here.
Patty's hot!
And why are some people calling for this new Netflix series to be taken down? All right, top of our newsfeed, the hashtag #PrayForDemi. Now, it's been used millions of times since news broke that the singer has been hospitalized after what's been described as a drug overdose. And for millions of her fans, Demi is way more than just a singer. She's also a role model. The 25-year-old has had a well-documented struggle with her mental health, but she seems to be on the road to recovery. Her latest song is called Sober. Now this. Her family say she's awake and getting medical care. Well, the fellow pop star Macklemore spoke of his concern at his show last night.
And I know what it's like to slip, I know what it's like to relapse. I've done it many, many times. That song is dedicated to her and anyone else that's going through it right now.
And there has been an outpouring of support on Twitter. Ellen DeGeneres wrote that she loves Demi and that she's a light in this world. She added that she's sending her love to Demi's family. And Lady Gaga said that we should wrap our arms of love around Demi and that she's so happy she's alive. She also wrote that if I know my monsters as well as I believe I do, we all wish you self-compassion and inner peace. May you receive the love so many have for you. All right, let's have a look at what else has been trending on social media. The Pakistan elections are a top trend on Twitter for two reasons. One, the tens of millions of people casting their ballots, and also because of the violence at the ballot box. In Quetta, at least 25 people have been killed in a suicide bombing near a polling station. The target was a police convoy, apparently. The election could see the former cricket captain Imran Khan become Prime Minister. And CNN has got hold of a tape of US President Donald Trump talking to his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. In it, the two men discuss a hush money payment to a Playboy model called Karen McDougal. And Trump can be heard saying he wants the money to be paid in cash. Now, it's embarrassing for Trump and potentially puts him in a fraught legal position. But all the internet can laugh at is this moment when Trump gets thirsty.
Give me your Coke, please. Give me your Coke, please.
They don't have a legitimate purpose.
Now, a lone Swedish activist has posted video of herself stopping the deportation of a man to Afghanistan. Ellen Ersson refused to take her seat on a flight from Gothenburg until the man was taken off the flight.
I'm right now at an airport, at an airplane, and there's a person getting deported to Afghanistan. Please don't take my phone, don't touch my phone. And the people here working are trying to take my phone away from me. Just because what I'm all saying is that I'm not going to sit down until this person is off the plane. In Afghanistan there is a big war going on, and if he goes there he will most likely be killed. So I'm trying to save his life.
And you're upsetting all the people down there.
What?
So I don't care what you think.
I'm just asking,
I'm just telling
what
you,
is
I don't
more
care.
important, your life or the time?
What about all these children on here? You are frightening. Take your phone off.
Don't take my phone. I'm sorry that a man is going to die and that you are more worried about missing your flights.
You are right.
So there's a Turkish guy helping me out and telling me that what I'm doing is right?
They are with you. No problem.
He's with me,
Also,
with him, and some people are really applauding all this that I'm doing, and there's a football team at the back actually standing up. I don't know.
And despite that protest, we are still hearing that man will be deported at a later date. Now, the Indian government is under pressure after their latest monetization mess. They're having to recalibrate hundreds of thousands of ATMs so they can take the new 100 rupee note. People are not happy at all. Take a look.
It's very likely that in a few weeks from now, this ATM behind me, along with thousands of others across the country, could very well be running out of cash. And the reason for that is simple. The Indian government has recently announced it plans to issue new 100 rupee currency notes that are much smaller in size compared to the current notes that are in circulation, which means in order for such ATMs to be able to issue those notes, these machines will have to be recalibrated, a move that will cost the Indian government 1 billion Indian rupees, and citizens we spoke to are certainly not happy about that.
This is nothing but a sheer waste of national resources. First, the government is spending so much money on printing new notes, then on recalibrating ATMs, and citizens will also be inconvenienced.
The government is at fault here. Their planning execution has been weak. Why didn't they issue all these new currency notes in one go, when the monetization happened 2 years ago?
And it's not just your common man on the street who is upset. There's also anger on social media. Many, like this user, asking who is supposed to be held accountable for a move like this. He's asking why isn't the RBI governor explaining this move. You've got another user who's joking to say it's almost as if the government feels that all other issues in this country have been resolved and that this money can't possibly be spent elsewhere. You've got Binoy Chako saying India just recalibrated 237,000 ATMs during demonetization about a year and a half ago, and he's saying we're doing this all over again, and he's asking, can someone explain why the taxpayers' money is being put to waste? You've got another user saying, didn't the government and the RBI learn their lesson through the experience of demonetization? And he's saying this is certainly not rocket science, and that's the big worry and concern in India. How many more times is this cash shortage going to repeat itself, and will this time be the last?
A beauty blogger from Kuwait has tripled down on her offensive comments about Filipino domestic workers. She posted a blog complaining about her maid getting the day off. She then backed up her backward position in another video and an Instagram post despite all of the criticism. Take a look.
وبس أي شيء يصير نسكر الموضوع ولا حد يقول لي لأن أصلاً مو مهم. عندنا وايد أشياء بالحياة أهم. قاعد أفكر بالبوتوكس. الفلبينية غير، عقد الثانية غير، عقد الهندية غير، لا ولا يعني كل العقود لأن كلهم بشر بالنهاية، ما في والله فلبيني أحسن من هندي ولا هندي أحسن. حقوق العمال حقوقنا إحنا كفيل.
Well, on the back of that, Max Factor Arabia has confirmed it suspended collaborations with her, and 2 other brands have also fired her as an influencer. She still hasn't apologised. All right, around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Wednesday. The guy running around with his trousers down is a Georgia state lawmaker. called Jason Spencer. He's finally announced his resignation after Sunday's episode of Who is America went to air. Now in it, the comedian Sacha Baron Cohen gets well-known Americans to look foolish. In this bit, Spencer was told to drop his trousers because Daesh terrorists are scared of being seen as gay, apparently. Earlier in the same bit, Spencer repeatedly used the N-word. He had been in office since 2010. And in another example of how fake news spreads through the social media ecosystem, a waiter at a Texas steakhouse put this image on his Facebook last week, and a long post about how shocked he was to get the racist note. His story was even picked up by the local news.
I had to think, like, what would Jesus do in this situation? I hope, the people who left me that note finds Jesus.
But it turns out it was all a lie. Khalil wrote the note himself. Now he's apologised, but hasn't explained why he did it. He has since taken his Facebook down. And Nestlé has lost a case in the EU over an attempt to hang on to the copyright of the shape of Kit Kat bars. Nestlé argued unsuccessfully that they own the four-finger shape. They've been fighting the case for 16 years. It now means that more four-finger chocolate bars not called Kit Kat can soon be on a shelf near you. Last week, Disney sacked the Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn after right-wing trolls found some offensive tweets of his from 2011, despite the fact Gunn apologised for them back in 2012. Now there's a petition to get him rehired. Oh, the internet.
Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn has been fired by Disney over jokes he made on Twitter in the past. The tweets were uncovered by conservatives who dislike Gunn's outspoken criticism of President Donald Trump and the Republican Party. His tweets, mainly from 2010 to 2011, included jokes about women, overweight people and the Holocaust. Gunn apologised for the tweets back in 2012 and claimed he changed his view since then. Now over 230,000 people have signed a petition to rehire the director for the third Guardians movie, even receiving support from cast members like Chris Pratt. Some people also pointed out the double standards of Disney, which continues to work with men who have been accused of physical abuse. But this saga has people questioning the prevalence of cyber mobs digging up dirt on people in the hopes of getting them fired from their jobs, and how companies should be reacting to them. Do you think it was fair for Disney to fire James Gunn?
Now, the trailer for a new Netflix show has angered a lot of people online. There's even a petition for it to be cancelled before it's put on the site next month. Take a look.
High school was a nightmare.
Where's Patty?
Right here. Having my jaw wired shut lost me more than just my summer vacation. It hurt, like I hurt.
That is your lot from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to us with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us on Twitter 24/7 and YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.